Hi guys, sorry about the angle of the video. I tried to do this where Abe wasn't in the background, but because you can see my bed back there, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, anyhow, also let me move this so you can hear me better. Because I think my microphone is built into my Mac, which is like sitting down over here. Anyway, and sorry about my hair, it's wet too. Enough of the apologies. This video is sort of in response to a video by Angie the Anti-Theist titled Abortion. And also, one more apology really quickly. For some reason, my video freezes a lot. I got this new webcam yesterday and it freezes. Like, say something on Twitter pops up, my webcam will freeze. So anyway, this video is sort of in response to Angie the Anti-Theist's video titled Abortion. I'll put all the links over there. But it's more so in response to a local morning radio show host whose name is Steve Gill. I listen to him every morning, really, for the most part. And was it yesterday morning? Yeah. Or no. I guess it was Monday or Tuesday morning. I don't remember. I turned on the radio. I was driving to take my mom to work that morning. I turned on the radio and all I heard was Angie's voice talking about how she was having an abortion at that very moment. And it wasn't painful. It wasn't really that bad. And I was just like, okay, what the fuck is what is this? I couldn't figure it out. Usually, I turn on the radio and I hear Steve Gill. I turned it on that morning and I heard someone talking about an abortion. I wasn't at all put off by what she was saying. And then Steve Gill blares back on the radio, and the first thing he says is, "What a sick, psycho woman." And he goes on and on and on about, how sick she is to be having an abortion and talking about it publicly, and it's just like, wait, what? That's not. She's neither sick nor psycho, and it's probably a really good thing she's talking about this so publicly. I am somebody who talks about taboo subjects pretty publicly. I mean, I talk about my drug addiction and me being on methadone fairly openly, and I haven't found that many people who talk about those things, as openly as I do. But I guess abortion is a hell of a lot more taboo than drugs. And so I can understand how people were taken back by her video, but to call her a sick psycho really made me angry. I mean, I am pro-choice, and a lot of people think that because you're pro-choice, that makes you pro-abortion, which means that if anybody just gets pregnant and just happens to not want the kid, they can get an abortion, regardless of their financial or emotional situation. That's not the case at all. People who are pro-choice are certainly not pro-abortion. I'm not. If I was in a financial situation where I could take care of a kid, I wouldn't abort it. But I'm certainly not. If I had a child right now, I would have an abortion. And nobody ever talks about the probably millions and millions of children who are in foster homes, probably wishing every night that they just weren't ever put on this earth, And I think that people need to stop looking at abortion as the taking of a life and look at it as the saving of a life. Most people who are pro-choice, and I hate to generalize, but I am going to generalize here a little bit. Most people who are pro-choice are conservative or Republican, I'm kind of conservative, but I'm definitely not a Republican, are conservative middle class to upper middle class people who have never had to see someone or to see a child living in a situation that's absolutely despicable. I have a friend, or not really so much a friend, but I know someone who has a child, and that child should not be here. And it's not any fault of that child's. The situation that she was born into is absolutely horrible, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Um, I think that, I'm not going to act like I'm super, super schooled on the whole abortion thing. There are arguments that when women have medical abortions or surgical abortions, when the vacuum is inserted into their cervix, the embryo or the fetus swims away. But, if you touch a man's thigh, the testicle that's closest to his thigh goes in the other direction. So I'm not really sure that's a sign that this embryo or this fetus is a conscious, sentient being. But I was really saddened by Steve Gill's comments, calling her a sick psycho. And when all she's doing is being very truthful about a situation that happens. I mean, what were the statistics? Angie said them on her video. Something like 70% of women will have an unplanned pregnancy, and 1 out of 3 women will have an abortion at some point in their fertile years. Here goes the freezing, sorry. Okay, anyway. So, I mean, this is something that it happens all the time, but it's never ever talked about. And I really commend Angie for being open and being honest about the decision that she made. And the most important thing is that we have to judge people by their individual situations. People make decisions based upon their individual situations. And I would hate to think that someone who was in poor health or had no money or was mentally unstable would bring a child into this world, into an unfit home where they were not wanted and would not be taken care of. So it's better to look at situations on an individual level than to judge all women who maybe have had an abortion or would have an abortion. It's just, in my opinion, it's not something that should be judged on a general level. We have to look at people based upon their individual situations and the individual lives that they lead. And I'm very disappointed in Steve Gill and kind of depressed that there are people out there who think the way that he does. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. Like I said, I'll put the links over to the right. So you can check out the video if you haven't seen it. I don't know why our local radio host was talking about, I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to hear if Rush Limbaugh or any of the other conservative commentators were going to talk about it, but I didn't get to listen to Rush Limbaugh, and I really didn't hear that much of Sean Hannity, so I don't know if they said anything about it, but it sure would have been interesting if they did. Anyway,